My roommate loved the girl next door type. I preferred the femme fatale. We joked we'd never be rivals. But 3 years after my girlfriend vanished, I saw her at my roommate's wedding. She was the bride. I was the best man. A classmate clapped me on the back, laughing as he recounted their love story for me. Her startup went bust, and she was about to jump off a building. I was the one who saved her. Heard there was some other guy clinging to her back then, but I took her overseas to build a new life. Jonas, pretty slick move, right? Paxton Holden was still chattering excitedly, but I couldn't hear a word. My mind was a cavern of white noise. 3 years. Over 1,000 days and nights. The woman I loved most in this world had been hidden away by the man I saw every single day for 3 whole years. The classmate's words washed over me, draining the strength from my limbs. A tremor started in my hands and spread through my entire body. Seeing my face pale, Paxton immediately guided me into a quiet lounge, his voice laced with concern. Jonas, what's wrong? You feeling sick? For 3 years, I turned my life upside down searching for Linnea Keating. I traveled everywhere, questioned everyone, plastered missing person flyers across the city, filed police reports, and scoured the internet. Even her own family had given up, convinced she was truly gone. Only I believed she was still alive. Only I kept searching. I don't know how many nights I stood on my apartment rooftop, staring down at the street, wanting to end the hopeless waiting. But now, all of it felt like a sick joke. I looked down at the faded scars crisscrossing my forearms, a roadmap of healed wounds. A bitter sting filled my eyes, and my heart felt like it was being clenched in a fist, shattered, then tossed into a fire. Paxton let out a heavy sigh. You're thinking about her again, aren't you? Just let it go, man. It's been too long. You need to move on. You could find a great girl, just like I did, and start over. I'll get everyone together soon. Have Linnea introduce you to some of her best friends. As if on cue, the door opened and Linnea walked in. She was radiant in an elaborate wedding gown, her figure as perfect as it was 3 years ago. The only difference was in her eyes. When she used to look at me, her gaze held the entire world. Now, her eyes brushed past me, a fleeting glance, before settling on Paxton. She moved to him, her hands instinctively straightening his suit. Trailing behind her were the bridesmaids, the same close friends from before. I could still vividly remember the way they used to call me their brother-in-law. Now when they saw me, their eyes were filled with unspoken words, a mix of pity and avoidance. A moment ago, I could have fooled myself. Maybe she'd hit her head when she jumped, lost her memory, and that's why she didn't recognize me. But every one of her friends standing there was a testament to the truth. She hadn't forgotten. She remembered everything. She just didn't love me anymore. Paxton looked at Linnea with pure adoration. Babe, tell your friends not to leave tonight. We'll have a huge after party. Really celebrate. He shot me a pointed look, a silent invitation. Linnea gave a non-committal nod, her universe contained entirely within Paxton's gaze. She never looked at me again. It was as if we were complete strangers. I slowly closed my eyes, the feeling of a hand gripping my heart, squeezing until it burst, then throwing the pieces into a furnace. The pain, it was unbearable. I stumbled into the restroom, my back sliding down the cold, tiled wall until I hit the floor. The chill seeped into my bones, but it was nothing compared to the agony tearing through my chest. A choked sob escaped my lips. Linnea, how could you leave me? As I walked out of the restroom, I overheard one of her friends whispering to her. Linnea, are you sure? You're really over Jonas Merrick? Her voice was flat, devoid of any emotion. Just some broken relic from my past, completely unhinged. Would you want him? Silence. The ceremony began. Paxton, knowing I was in no state to stand beside him, had found a last-minute replacement. I watched as Linnea looked earnestly at Paxton, who knelt before her, ready to slide the ring onto her finger. I stood in the furthest corner of the hall, watching the woman on stage smile and say, I do. A violent wave of jealousy crashed over me. I wanted to rush up there, to stop the wedding, to scream at Paxton and ask him why he'd stolen my girlfriend, why he'd hidden her for 3 years, letting me search while he knew where she was all along. And I wanted to demand of Linnea why she was pretending not to know me, why she came back and never looked for me, why everyone had kept the secret from me. I wanted to burn the whole damn wedding to the ground, but I didn't. I just sat in my corner, and after they exchanged their vows, I was the first to applaud. My clapping was loud, unnaturally so, drawing stares from people nearby. I didn't care. I just waited until Linnea's gaze swept across the crowd and found mine. Our eyes met, my nose stung, and the tears I'd been holding back finally broke free, streaming down my face. I saw a flicker in her dark eyes, a slight tremor. Then, just as quickly, she looked away. Her expression was as cold and hard as obsidian, without a trace of feeling. My nails dug deep into my palms. I thought, I'm going insane. I pulled out my phone, my fingers shaking as I typed out a message. Linnea, I don't wish you a happy marriage. I curse you. I curse you to a life of never having the one you love.